Don't ride a motorcycle here in NYC. Well, not until you master these tips of avoiding hazards. Yes, riding a motorcycle can be extremely fun and freeing, but you still have to be hyper aware no matter where you ride. That's where riding in the big city, in particular New York City, adds some new elements you may not be aware of. So to help you guys out, I rummaged through a ton of old videos of me riding in New York City to give you these tips. Here are 5 tips for you to master for avoiding hazards so you can ride safely in NYC or any big city. I'll also leave this list at the end of the video. Hazard number 1, pedestrians and tourists. Listen, here in New York City, we love the tourists and even the local pedestrians. But sometimes you're gonna have jaywalkers and distracted tourists. Pedestrians in NYC often cross streets unexpectedly. Hey, I'm walking here! Or distracted by their phones, creating dangerous situations for riders. So here's a tip. Always assume someone will step out in front of you, especially in tourist-heavy areas like Times Square. Keep an eye on crosswalks, even if you have the green. I mean, here's a perfect example. Another thing to keep a lookout for in this category, large crowds during events. When events like parades or protests happen, the streets become unpredictable, with pedestrians flooding the road. Here's my tip. If you can, avoid riding through areas where large events are taking place. Crowds mean more opportunities for sudden stops and people walking into traffic. And another fun thing in this category, tourists on city bikes. Tourists renting city bikes may be unfamiliar with city streets, making erratic movements. Here's my tip. Give city bike riders extra room. They may suddenly stop or veer unexpectedly. Number 2, cabs and for hire vehicles, i.e. taxis and Uber/Lyft drivers. Taxis and for hire vehicles make sudden stops to pick up or drop off passengers, or even change lanes without signaling. Here's my tip. Always stay out of their blind spots. And always anticipate sudden stops, especially near busy intersections or tourist attractions. And there are a ton of those in New York City. Another fun thing within this category, rideshare navigation issues. I mean, we've all been there, where you're looking up directions and they just suddenly change on you, meaning you're making quick movements to figure out where you're exiting. Uber and Lyft drivers often use GPS, which can cause them to make last-minute lane changes or sudden stops. Tip, keep a safe distance and be ready for unexpected moves. Another thing to look out for is dooring risks. Now, many of you bicyclists out there know this, but this could be something new for motorcyclists. Now, as you can see in some of my videos, I do like to kind of split lanes, and sometimes it's just necessary. But if you do, look out for opening doors. Passengers in cabs or rideshare cars often open their doors without checking for motorcycles. Here's my tip. Be cautious when riding near parked cars or slow-moving cars. People might just pop open a door right in front of you, and that would be a bad day. Number 3, street construction and road hazards, specifically potholes and uneven surfaces. NYC streets are notorious for potholes and construction zones that leave roads uneven and unpredictable. Tip, scan the road ahead and avoid swerving at the last minute. Reduce speed when you see construction signs to give yourself time to react. Another fun thing within this category, street cones and barricades. Street construction often forces you into tight lanes with cones and barriers, making it difficult to maneuver. Tip, stay visible and avoid squeezing between construction zones and traffic, as these lanes can narrow suddenly. Another fun thing within this category, my favorite, metal plates and wet surfaces. Metal plates covering roadwork can be extremely slippery, especially when wet. Tip, try not to lean into turns, especially when riding over metal surfaces, and approach them slowly, especially if the roads are wet. Number 4, traffic hazards, running red lights, and aggressive drivers. So as many of you riders are aware of, some drivers, even cyclists, may try to beat the red light, which poses a major hazard at intersections. Tip, always double check intersections before accelerating on a green light. Just because you have the right of way doesn't mean drivers will stop. And also within this category, aggressive and impatient drivers. NYC drivers can be aggressive and impatient, often cutting off motorcyclists just to get ahead in traffic. Really? Tip, be assertive but not aggressive. Make yourself visible, which is why I favor loud exhausts. And avoid getting into close calls with drivers who are in a rush. Speaking of drivers who are in a rush, let's talk about delivery trucks and buses. These larger vehicles have limited visibility and often take wide turns without signaling. Tip, keep Keep extra distance from trucks and buses, especially in tight city streets. 5. E-bikes and electric scooters. Ooh, one of my biggest annoyances are the e-bike delivery riders. And I know they're just doing their job. E-bike delivery riders move quickly through traffic and may not follow all the traffic rules, as seen here. A guy almost hit me. They like to swerve in and out of lanes. Tip: stay alert and give them space. They often zip around cars and are extremely unpredictable. Another fun thing in this category: electric scooters. Yeah, riders on electric scooters often ride between bike lanes and vehicle lanes, making it hard to predict where they're gonna go next. Yay. Tip: be cautious when approaching scooters. They can quickly shift into your lane without warning. Give them space and expect the unexpected. So in conclusion, from distracted tourists to aggressive drivers, NYC streets present plenty of challenges for a motorcyclist. But with the right awareness and techniques, you can stay safe and enjoy the ride. My final tip: always scan your surroundings, anticipate hazards, and never assume other road users will follow the rules. So what about you? What tips can you add to help other riders riding in NYC or any other big city? Leave a comment below. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to check out this video. Or this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more motorcycle tips and tricks for the city. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see ya.